Let's say you have created some customer facing application, maybe some kind of a web application or mobile application. Now you want anyone and everyone to come and use that application, and users are coming into your application. Now they have two options. Either they can create a new account, right? And you know that most of the time users feel lazy to create a separate account for every application, right? So you can let users in by using their existing social media account. It may be Google account, Microsoft account, Facebook account in this case. So using their existing social media account, they can get into your application. This is the example of B2C, Azure Business to Customer, right? So in this case, basically we publish any API or any web app or any kind of mobile app, and we invite users to use these applications. And users can use any of their social media IDs, their Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Amazon, and so on. And using this ID, they can authenticate themselves, and then they can come and use application. And this is the example of Azure Active Directory B2C. Basically, Azure Active Directory B2C have trust relationship between all these different identity management services. So Azure B2C is a separate service from Azure Active Directory. Now B2C is a completely separate service. We are going to see that in a portal in a minute. It is built on the same technology. Now technology is same, but has entirely different purpose, right? It allows business to build customer facing application, and then allow anyone to sign into those applications with no restriction on user account. There is no restriction. You can create account or you can use your existing account. Now let me jump back to my portal very quickly here. And I'm going to show you here. So for example, if I go to all services within identity, you can see that we have Azure Active Directory and we have Azure Active Directory B2C. So B2C is a separate service. This is different from Azure Active Directory. However, from within Azure Active Directory, you can create account for B2C. For example, if I click on Manage Tenant here, I can click on Create, and you can see we have option for B2C here. So let me click on B2C, click on Configuration. I can provide a name of my company here. For example, I can say company C, and I need to provide some kind of domain here, and this should be unique. Let me try to make it this unique here, and let's see if this is available. This is available. Wonderful. And I have provided country, subscription, any resource group. Let me create a new resource group here. All right, and region, and this is Central US, should be fine for me. And let me click on Review and Create here, and let me click on Create. Now this will take your subscription is not registered to use namespace. Okay, so now let me go to subscription. Actually these services should be registered, and if I go to resource provider here and let me search for Active Directory, you can see that this is not registered. So let me register this here, and this will take a minute or so. All right, after around 15 seconds I refreshed, and I can see that this is registered. Now once again, let me go back to Azure Active Directory, Manage Tenants, Create, B2C, Configuration. Once again, I will provide name of my company here, company C. I will provide domain democomp B2C. For example, this was available. Country, subscription, resource group. We have created this new resource group here. I will click on Review and Create, and hopefully we should not get any error now. So let me click on Create, and you can see that tenant creation is in process. Now this will take a minute or so to create this new tenant. Meanwhile, let me go back to my slides, and we can quickly see the difference once again between B2B and B2C. All right, so I'm back to my slide here, and you can see earlier in the previous lesson we discussed about B2B. Now the difference here is that in this case we are sending invitation to a very specific user that please come to my organization and work on my resources. Then he accept that invitation or redeem that invitation and become part of your organization. Now very securely you are allowing this user to have access to your resources, your application, your data, your database, right? So this is very specific user, and he is part of your Azure Active Directory, right? But in case of B2C, we see that we are not inviting anyone. Anyone and everyone can come and use your application, right? And it is just that they don't have to create a new login. They can use their existing login, their existing social media account to use your application. So this is still going on. Let me just hold on for a second. Okay, this is just completed here. So tenant has completed, and now if I go back to my Azure Active Directory, and if I go to manage tenants here, you can see that I have company C, which is B2C tenant type. You can see Azure Active Directory B2C, right? And I can check this and I can switch my account. Now this will log in into a new tenant, and this new tenant is B2C. You can see that company is C here, right? And if I click on identity provider, you can see the list of identity provider which is supported by Azure Active Directory B2C. You can see we have Amazon, Apple, Facebook, GitHub, Google, LinkedIn, and so on. So if user has any of this account in any of these social media account, he can access your application if your application is registered with Azure Active Directory B2C. All right, so I hope you get the difference between B2B and B2C. I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you very much.